20 years. Now, really think about that. 20 years. Somebody doing something like anything for that amount of time is just something to be applauded about. Now, for the record, hi, thanks for clicking on this video. If you're a new viewer, hi, thanks for clicking. And if you're a returning viewer, how you doing? Welcome to the King's Courts. Okay, this is a bit of a okay, you're probably thinking, a wrestling video? Well, here's the thing. Here on the channel, me and Chandler and Michael, we've never hidden from the fact we are huge, and I mean huge, wrestling nerds. If there's one thing we love as much as video games and TCGs, it's wrestling. That's how me and Chandler and Michael met years and years ago. And you know what? Maybe one day we'll do like a channel special. Shoot, maybe when we're at 370 last time I checked. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the record if you've subscribed already. Maybe one day when we hit like 500 or something, or shoot, if we ever get close to 1,000, we'll do like a Q&A or something. We'll talk about how, stuff like that. But, shoot, wrestling, being just huge fans of it, is how me and Chandler and Michael even met years ago. And, man, this is crazy. If you're probably wondering what am I going about rambling about, for the record, if you're a wrestling fan and a WWE fan, specifically, Money in the Bank just finished, not even an hour ago. And now here's the thing. Me and Chandler and Michael have been wanting to add wrestling content to the channel for a long time. We actually had a video planned out. We had this idea. If you're familiar with the channel and you've seen us before, we've done VTuber videos as well. We were considering doing like a kind of like the series we've been doing where we assign like a Digimon partner or a Yu-Gi-Oh deck to a certain VTuber. Ever since Doki Bird, personal favorite of me and Chandler and Michael, did second or WrestleTuber 2. Yeah. We were thinking of doing a video like what wrestling entrance themes would fit each VTuber the best. And if you want to see that, we'll still do it, actually. We're probably going to do it anyways because that sounds really fun. And a lot of these videos is really fun to talk about. But we were going to have that be like our first, kind of like dipping our toes in the water of uploading wrestling videos here on the channel. Adding that to our repertoire we already do. But something happened recently into the world of pro wrestling, and if you're a wrestling fan, you can probably already figure it out. The legend himself, the man, the GOAT, really, of pro wrestling is retiring. John Cena is retiring from in-ring competition. Now, this is insane because, this video is mostly going to be just talking about just how crazy the idea of this is, but also give a little insight on me and Chandler and Michael now. Like I said, we've been wrestling fans for years. Pro wrestling is probably, just like I said, I've loved it since I was a kid, and personally, my favorite of all time is Kurt Angle, and Chandler and Michael's is The Undertaker. But John Cena, man, I gotta be real with you. Me and Chandler and Michael have been watching pro wrestling since the beginning and end of John Cena's career. All those decades ago, 20 plus years. We've seen literally every big win he's ever had. The WWE title, the World Heavyweight title, his amazing run as the US champion. If John Cena's not your choice for probably the GOAT of WWE, you gotta admit, as the U.S. champion, there's probably really no one on his level, let's be honest here. That crazy run he had is just top tier, honestly. So, if you were watching already Money in the Bank, and you already saw it, you already know, he announced 2025 WrestleMania in Vegas next year is going to be his last WrestleMania. He's going to be officially retiring from in-ring competition, and it's crazy to think about because this is a literal entire chapter in the history of pro wrestling. Like, there have been greats, the guys, throughout pro wrestling, going back decades. There's always been, big names in the world. There's right now, debatably, when it comes to WWE, the biggest name still has got to be Cody Rhodes, and rightfully deserved. and you got famous wrestlers throughout time like The Rock, Stone Cold, on big draws like Andre the Giant, Bruno Sammartino, Antonio Inoki. There's just been wrestling legends throughout the entire, years of wrestling. Whether you're a fan of WWE's style or if you're a fan of Lucha Libre, Rey Mysterio, also a GOAT for the record. Obviously, love Lucha Libre style. UK wrestling, that hard hitting UK style. That's the GOAT for that. That got to be definitely. You know what? I might act. That's a video idea right there. The GOATs for each of the different styles, but I'll say that for later. But this video is about an entire chapter closing because John Cena is a polarizing figure. Not a lot of people. He's always been one of those wrestlers, whether you love him or you hate him. Let's be real here. He's always been that kind of wrestler. All the time in any of his matches, whether he was the champ or not, the mixed reaction would be either tons of boos or praise. And I'm going to be real. There are times I wasn't a fan either. I mean, let's be real. Come on, the Nexus. That's probably the best example right there. All I got to say. If you're a wrestling fan, in WWE specifically, and you hear the Nexus and John Cena, you know what I'm talking about. But that's another story for another time. But even so, including that though, what he's done for professional wrestling, especially here in the West, is this unrivaled. Because realistically, John Cena carried WWE for the longest times on his huge ass shoulders. And it's just crazy to think of the idea of WWE without John Cena, because yes, he hasn't been in-ring competition full time for a very long time. I think it's been like, I don't even know, maybe 6, 7 years maybe? It's been a long time. But, we always knew in the back of our minds, John Cena, is he going to come back to beat Ric Flair's 16-time record? Is he going to come back to finally win the Intercontinental title? Because that's actually, funny thing is, he's never had the Intercontinental Championship. That's the only one he's never had. WWE Championship, WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Oh, okay, obviously he's never had the Universal one, but, technicalities. But during his time when he was wrestling, he was like at his peak. He did have the top prize at that time. Before the Universal titles was brought into existence. But the only one he never had was the Intercontinental title. Kind of ironic. But just the fact though that he's going to be retiring fully, and that's just insane to think about. Especially someone like I said, me personally, who's been watching wrestling for so long. I can't really think of a time because I always knew they're going to probably bring back Cena when they need to get a big pop or something, or if they need to get views and get excitement for a big pay-per-view. I always thought that, like the whole Mania thing, like with the thing with Rock and Roman Reigns and all that. I always thought like John Cena was kind of like that, how they always bring The Rock out when they need like a huge ratings boost. And I always thought Cena was the same thing, and I really thought he'd retire at this point, but the fact that he's really retiring is just crazy to think. It's also getting me to think, man, besides Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio, there's not a lot of other wrestlers I grew up watching that are still doing it. There's also Chris Jericho in AEW, but not a lot. I don't even think I can count 10. Man. For the record, I watched primarily during the Ruthless Aggression era. Because when I was old enough to actually understand what was going on. You know what I mean? But, man, just, again, it's just insane thinking about. So, I don't know where this video is going. I just wanted to talk about the idea of the fact that, just really talk about it, and just the idea of John Cena retiring. Because let's be real, there's no arguing that John Cena, like I said, has brought a lot of name recognition to WWE, especially for, like I said, people around my age who probably never watched WWE match. Through memes alone, there are people who know who John Cena is. It's crazy to think about. And not only that, all his charity work, too, with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's insane to really think about. When you, I've always thought personally that John Cena is when you think of the guy, you think for a long time for New Japan, that was Okada. And right now for WWE, that's got to be Cody Rhodes. And just like for a long time in TNA, that was AJ Styles. But you know, the idea of John Cena finally retiring is just crazy, man. Oh boy, this is really, really insane to think about. But you know, it has to happen eventually. At least, again, John Cena, man, again, for a long time, I always knew this that people would probably also, because again, he's a polarizing figure because not everyone likes his style, and I'll admit, like I said, I'm more of a fan of the super, you know, intense kind of style. Like I said, Kurt Angle, like John Cena's the GOAT, but my personal favorite of all time is Kurt Angle. But John Cena, again, his showmanship in the ring and just his personality. Because let's be real, on the mic, John Cena could almost not be defeated. So, and I can't really think of a wrestler on the mic that got me to laugh nearly as much many times as John Cena did. So, you know, there's a reason he has so many different memes, you know, whether it's John Cena or you sure about that, or him speaking Chinese. That's become a meme. So it's just really insane to think about. So that's what I want to talk about. If you want to see more wrestling videos, like I don't even know what to really call this one. Let us like the video so I know there's some interest, and let me know your favorite match John Cena's ever been in. For me, that's got to be... Man, that's actually tough. That is really tough right there. I want to say anything with Kurt Angle, but it's really hard to say. You know, obviously he's had tons of matches with like Randy Orton. Those are really cool. It's really hard to pick. But you know what? I might say that for a future video. So that's it for this one. Have a good weekend and take care. Bye. Also, let me know what you think in the comments what you thought of Money in the Bank. I thought it was actually pretty good. I didn't think it was like too insane. Again, I won't spoil it in case anyone's watching this and they didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. But I think it was pretty good. Although I'm optimistic. So let me know in the comments what you thought of Money in the Bank, and let me know if you're also a longtime wrestling fan and how you feel about John Cena finally retiring next year. This is crazy to think about. That's it for this one. Have a good weekend, like I said. Sorry for repeating myself. Take care. Bye.